dudes.
Listen to tunes.
Listen to tunes.
Drinking some brews.
Drinking some brews.
We're dudes.
We're dudes.
Listening to tunes.
Listening to tunes.
And drinking some brews.
And drinking some brews.
I ate a lot of pot roast for dinner. It's pretty good.
I had a lot of tortellini.
It was your first time eating tortellini?
It was my first time eating tortellini, and I ate a lot of it.
Did it have, what kind of cheese was that? Was it the, what do you call it? It's like what's in lasagna?
Ricotta?
Ricotta. You know, I like cottage cheese in my lasagna. Is that weird?
Well, I think cottage cheese is a substitute for ricotta, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you just add egg into either one of them and
Yeah.
makes it thicker.
What's up, boys? Shelby Rhea joining us here on this impromptu evening with DTB.
Yeah, hey, look, the light's on. We have the fire.
We got the fire going again, just like John Carlos did last night.
Yeah, John Carlos is my new favorite segment on the show.
We're just hanging out, spontaneous. We went to a karaoke night.
At the Colonial Inn.
Tell them about it, Josh.
The Colonial Inn is there at the Shelby Madison Split. It's that place that everybody's driven past and they're like, hey, that place looks pretty cool. Maybe I'll go there someday, and we did. And they have karaoke every night at 9 o'clock, and it's hosted by a different person every night.
And 2-drink minimum after 9 o'clock if you want to do karaoke. I've driven by that place for 14 years, never stopped in. Always been curious, and Froman's like, hey, let's check it out. And I said, sure. And we stumbled onto a birthday party.
The birthday party was cool. It was for people like 45 and up. We blended in. We said Dave invited us, and nobody even thought twice about it.
I mean, we just hung out at a table and got a bucket of High Life.
It was pretty damn cool. We didn't sing any songs tonight, but we're definitely going back, and we've got some ideas in mind.
Yeah, we got a few songs we'd like to belt out for strangers.
For strangers, we got some of the after hours stuff. The people that've seen us in the past. Cher's "Believe" is always a good one.
Believe is always on top of the list.
Yeah, I mean, what else we got? What's It Gonna Be by In Vogue.
Oh, that's always Don't Let Go.
Don't Let Go. See, that's a trivia question right there. What's the name of that song? I think a lot of people are gonna say, "What's it gonna be?"
Yeah, I think it might be in parenthesis.
Oh,
I think it's called Don't Let Go,
yeah,
though.
it's called Don't Let Go. You're right. Yeah, it's cool.
But we got that, and we got I Really Love to See You Tonight by what the hell is it? England Dan and John Ford Cooley.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's really good. I almost said Argent, and that would have been wrong.
They did Hold Your Head Up and God Gave Rock and Roll to You.
Which I only knew this Kiss version of that until recently.
And that was God Gave Rock and Roll to You 2. They kind of did the sequel, supposedly. Don't sequel songs, people. Don't sequel songs.
Have you ever heard a good song sequel?
No, I mean, the only other one I can think of right now, well, Pink Floyd, Another Brick in the Wall, 1, 2, and 3. And then also I'm thinking of Metallica, Unforgiven and Unforgiven 2.
Unforgiven 2 was
Are you Unforgiven 2?
Yeah, dude.
Which doesn't make any sense because he's asking the question, he's posing the question, are you Unforgiven 2, T-O-O?
So you're also Unforgiven.
Exactly, but the song is 2 like Roman numerals 2.
Yeah, they played around with that.
That doesn't make any sense.
I think they kind of did that with Dumb and Dumber 2.
I did not watch that sequel.
It was the idea of it was okay, but it didn't work out well. They could have gone much better with it. The problem with it was the writing was a little iffy, but the characters were awesome. Like freaking Lloyd and
Lloyd Christmas and Harry Dunn.
Harry, yeah. They did a really fantastic job of re-portraying their characters, but the writing around it sucked. What are you gonna do?
Dumb and Dumber was a classic from my growing up. I was reared on that movie.
It's fantastic.
I met a guy the other day who claims that he did the toilet scene, like he did the sound effects. He was out in Burbank, California, and claimed that the guy I was telling you about.
Oh, the bass player?
No, the guy looking for the bass player.
Oh no, no, yeah, he needed a bass player.
Yeah, he told me he lived in Burbank for 10 years and that he was working as a sound effects guy, and he did that scene in Dumb and Dumber.
It's kind of a hard one to just come up with. I guess.
Right.
Like you'd really have to be.
I mean, he
crazy.
had a Dumb and Dumber movie poster in his basement.
Well, yeah, I guess it for.
And then he also told me a little tidbit that the scene where when they're in the diner and they throw the salt over the shoulder and hit sea bass and shit.
Yeah.
I guess it got cut from the movie. What he's telling me, what he told me, but when they leave and realize that they stiffed their bill on them, they're all supposed to climb into the shitty old Volkswagen and chase him down.
Oh shit.
Like 8 guys climb into a little shitty Volkswagen coupe.
That's great. That would have been a great scene.
That's what I heard.
Kick his ass, Seabass.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, you know that's right.
That is right. I should have brought the tripod out here.
Oh yeah, that'd have been pretty nice.
That would have been nice. Well, we got the fire going again.
Listen to some tunes tonight. We've been listening to some dubstep versions of old 8-bit classics.
It's been pretty sweet.
It's pretty cool.
I want to shake my booty a little bit. Let's see here. What do we got? Oh, let's see what old Harlos has in his bag of tricks here. Bawoosh!
Ooh, wee, that's nice. Killed a few mosquitoes that were on my face.
Oh, these mosquitoes, I tell you. Mosquitoes. I talked about that yesterday. You guys caught that if you watched it.
Would you put a bat box up to encourage bats?
Is that what those things are at the park?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's just a nest, just like.
Well, we have bats. If you're out here late enough, you can hear them squawking and doing their sonar.
You got enough trees out here. Yeah, probably a good thing. Just put a shoebox up there or something.
Like a cardboard box?
Yeah. It'd be good for about 3 days.
Yeah, probably. Until it rained. Or they pissed enough.
A mixture of the two.
A mixture of the two.
Yeah, I've seen you. You built a birdhouse once.
I built several birdhouses.
Wow.
I have one on my shed, but the squirrels have knocked it over and like chewed on it.
Jerks.
I made another one over here out of leftover vinyl siding and scrap wood, but I haven't put it up yet. Because like it's white vinyl siding, and I read that many birds aren't attracted to white habitats.
No.
So
That's very weird.
I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with that damn thing.
Yeah, have you ever thought about mimicking your house or doing,
I thought about doing models of like cartoon houses. Like I was thinking of the Family Guy house and the Simpsons house.
That'd be great.
Shit like that, but I haven't done it. That's more of like a winter project when I'm just in the house doing nothing.
Yeah,
It's just too nice. I got yard work to do and plants to tend to.
it's life, man. It's a pretty long list of chores.
It is.
You know, you can't let your plants take over, but at the same time, you
gotta take care of them.
gotta take care of them, and they'll take care of you.
Time to bawoosh this thing again because it's kind of annoying me. Had this fire going all day and the coals are just being fickle. One of these times I squirt this fluid on there, it's gonna just be like whoosh.
Skadoosh.
Skadoosh. Oh man. So many people watching us right now. I don't know how they entertain them.
I'd say that I'd put on a hula skirt, but I'm already wearing one.
He is. I can see it. And we're just sitting here in the dark. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
I mean, the raccoons don't seem bothered by it.
The raccoons love your grass skirt.
Yeah, and the one was nibbling on it. They must have a good flavor to it. It's probably it's the vinyl. I'm wearing the vinyl version of the grass skirt.
Nice.
I have no breakouts yet from it, which is good. So the panty liners are working.
I'm going to hand this to you, and I'm going to grab more sticks for this fire. If I can make it there in the dark.
Sticks. Sometimes when you have a fire, you just gotta let it do its thing. You just sit there and relax and let it smoke. Let it cover you in its smoldering smoke. That's how you keep the skeeters off, you know? If you take the ashes and you rub them all in your armpits, it'd make for an excellent antiperspirant.
And then you piss on yourself to make the charcoal ash stick to you better.
Ooh.
That's a nice looking fire there. Ooh, that's a nice angle. I like that. Scott Bradley's watching. Well, he was.
I waved at him.
Thanks for popping in.
It's good to see you doing your thing, Brad. Hope you're slapping the bass. Do you slap the bass much?
I do. I wish I was better, but I'm not. But I'm competent. I can't like keep up with one of them badass fuckers who does like triplets and shit.
Yeah. Who's your favorite bass player?
Oh man. As far as bass players who have influenced my playing and my style direction, I'm heavy on Paul McCartney and John Paul Jones. They're more of the scale-driven melodic players. But I also love Geezer Butler because he's more of the bounce around the guitar riff, rock that fucking shit.
Hell yeah.
Bass player. And really, Paul McCartney, John Paul Jones, and Geezer Butler are my main bass influences. They're the ones who taught me how to play bass, basically.
That's cool. One of the bass players that surprised me that he was even playing bass is the way he was doing it was a guy from Muse, which I liked Muse in their earlier days.
I liked Muse until everyone got a boner for him and you got shoved down your throat. And in that one song, it sounded, the guitar riff went wow wow, sounded like "Call Me" by Blondie.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I thought they just went to a weird place.
Actually, Brandy deciphered. They had an algorithm. Every album, like the first 3 albums, had an algorithm. It was like 12 songs, some shit, and song 7 was always the soft song, and this and that. She had a whole thing about it.
Yeah,
it was kind of interesting.
It is interesting. They do seem like they have some sort of formula to a lot of stuff that they do.
Yeah, they're pretty overrated as far as I'm concerned.
But they do have some stuff that's neat that they were at the time, but their bass player is pretty good.
He basically just threw on a big muff and like bounced around some octave type shit.
Is that really what's happening?
That's about what's happening. I mean, he had some cool little riffs and chops, but like for the most part, he was bouncing around octaves and making like little blues box type riffs. I mean,
I thought a lot of that was guitar sounding stuff, so the octave thing.
Well, he had the big muff on there.
It makes a difference, yeah.
Matthew Bellamy's over there doing some leads and playing the piano and stuff, and the bass player's keeping it driving with that big muff on the bass. And I think about their 4th album, the bass player started actually like doing some backup vocals and shit. So
nice.
The sound got a little fuller, but I just got tired of them.
Yeah, they kind of had a little too much going on. Too many albums after a while, too.
Yeah. They kind of, I don't know, they got like an off-grid, like Radiohead type following.
Yeah, they kind of were like Radiohead light in a lot of ways.
Kind of. I mean, they were British and they played music, and people had boners for them.
And he had that like a higher pitch, whinier voice.
Yeah.
It was kind of operatic.
Yeah. Man, I'm not going to discount them too much. I mean, they have their place, but I'm just over them.
There were a lot of bands that came out in that era that kind of came and went too. Like, remember Keane?
Vaguely, the name sounds familiar.
They're just like some band. Like, they're kind of like a generic Radiohead. I think they may have come out with some better stuff.
I tell you one band that I've grown absolutely just tired of. Weezer.
Yeah, what's up with all those cover songs?
They put out a whole album of covers. They pulled a Guns N' Roses. Put out a whole album of cover songs, and like Africa hit, and then everyone's all like, "Oh my God, Africa!" But they like rode the coattails of the resurgence of Africa in pop culture.
Yeah, it got too much, too quick.
Everybody was doing Africa.
I didn't know if it was because of them or vice versa.
I mean, today's media, what's the main media for people in their musical creative outlets? YouTube.
Yeah.
Africa flooded YouTube. Holy shit. I mean, if you look at YouTube Africa, it has like 400 million views. It's like one of the highest viewed things. And then everyone else started taking it on and doing it. And then Weezer did it, and it became too much.
What's your favorite covers album that someone's done?
I can't think like offhand. I know my favorite album that has been covered. Remember the group called Train?
Yeah.
They completely covered Led Zeppelin 2, the entire album.
It's good?
No, I never said it was good.
Oh, I think it's your favorite.
Led Zeppelin 2 is good.
Okay, so
My favorite album that has been covered.
that's been covered. Okay.
So yeah, they had the audacity to reproduce Led Zeppelin 2.
How bizarre is that?
And that dude sings way too nasally to do Robert Plant
yeah, no,
justice.
that's not gonna work. I do like. I'm trying to think. Now there's some bands that have done like a full album of covers. Rage Against the Machine did it. It was pretty good.
Oh, did they?
And
remember a few tracks back? I don't recall that one.
I think that Renegades of Funk was somehow that was the album. I don't think that was a cover, but it might have been. But not off the top of my head. No, I can't really.
Interesting.
This would be a nice album to pick up and check into. The other one is the Perfect Circle covers album. They did a cover of Imagine.
I tell you some modern covers I hated. Korn, Another Brick in the Wall.
Yeah, you didn't like that?
Didn't care for it.
It just seemed like they were just doing it.
What's up with metal, like doing these? We were talking about this in the car earlier. Extra genre covers. You got these metal guys doing all these covers. Like who's that one group? That Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah,
they're like
Bad Company.
Well, that's like all they do is covers.
Really?
Bad Company, Blue on Black, a bunch of other shit. And
they did do Blue on Black.
there's this other group that does this cover of the Cranberries, Zombie.
What?
And they just keep playing it. We got this new rock station, 93.9 or some shit.
Yeah.
It's the new X, and they play it all the fucking time, and it's annoying. I mean, it's a cool story behind it. They were going to have the original Cranberries chick sing it with them, but she unfortunately passed away.
Yeah.
So they released it, posthumously. And but they just play it.
I just want to say posthumously.
Me too, but I almost did, but I think it's actually pronounced posthumously.
I think you're right. That's one of those words.
It's just, what's up? Speaking of new metal, what's up with all these new metal songs having to be like hard and in your face, and then about the 3-minute mark, they got to have like a total breakdown where it's just like a microphoned, unamplified electric guitar, and the dude singing for like 20 seconds for the hook, and then they break it all back in.
Back in.
Like everybody's doing that shit.
What'd you think about Simple Man by
Shinedown? I hated it. And I'll tell you why. Because Skinner, Simple Man. Like, everyone loved Shinedown. Like, growing up my generation, like, young guitar players, like, gravitated towards the same songs, it seemed.
Right.
And Simple Man was one of them. My daddy, when he passed away, we went down to Kentucky, and we viewed him before everything was taking place, and my half-sister played the Shinedown version of Simple Man, and that was like the last song as we're having our moment with the corpse of my father.
Yeah.
And I looked at her and I said, if he could say so, he'd tell you to turn that fucking shit off and play fucking Skinner.
That's great.
And she was like, well, he said he kind of liked this one. I said, I fucking doubt it. I know my daddy. If it wasn't Skinner, yeah. So I can't listen to that version of Simple Man.
Oh yeah. It's funny because when my brother passed, that's the version they played.
Really?
But to me, the lyrics are what got me. So it didn't really matter on the version. Per se, I think either version they played would have hit me the same way.
Probably, but I don't know, man. My dad was so in the roots. Like, he was there when Skinner was, there.
It
So
was Skinner.
Skinner was Simple Man.
Yeah.
Don't play a 2005 version of Simple Man for a dude born in '49.
Right, exactly. That's kind of a thing, But cover songs have always been around. It just seems like how they're approached.
Right. I mean, back in the '70s, they would like release a version of a song, and someone would be covering it a week later.
You're right. That's what I mean. Like, yeah, they used to cover songs pretty prolifically, and
Right.
that's just the way it was. But
Like,
now it's so documented. Or when something becomes a classic, that's when it's tough, because like.
Right. It's like when it's a classic, or do you have the audacity to cover it, or do you have the balls to cover it?
Right.
And can you do it? Are you going to do it exactly the same? Why do it exactly the same? No cover should be exactly the same as the original. If you're going to cover a song, add something to it.
Yeah, make it.
Change it up, make it your own. Don't just play it note for note. Then you're just a cover band.
There's some of the songs that are covers I didn't realize are that Tainted Love.
By Soft Cell?
Yeah, there's the '60s version of it. with the female vocals. That's awesome. But Soft Cell did their own way of doing it. And I like that Marilyn Manson went okay. I think that kind of sets the precedence for what you were talking about. That
I didn't realize it was the group Orgy, the song Blue Monday.
Yeah,
That was a cover.
that's a pretty good cover.
That was decent.
I like the original well, but
Now,
I think they did a pretty good job of
as
updating
far
it.
as that same era, Alien Ant Farm, Smooth Criminal.
That's a pretty good cover.
That's a pretty good cover.
That's an unbelievable cover. I actually like it better.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah, I think that they did it. They did really well with that one.
Their saving grace to save them from the Limp Bizkit butt rock like label was their bass player, I believe. He was a stocky fellow. He was funny.
Alien Ant Farm.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
he was like the comic relief of the group. Like even in the backing vocal of the song, he's doing the Michael Jackson yells.
That's so good.
And it was fantastic.
That's fantastic. That's fucking great, dude. It's one of those like perfect tracks. Limp Bizkit, though, speaking of them, their version of Faith was pretty fun.
I guess. I mean,
It got horribly overplayed. I think it was like new at the time.
Limp Bizkit was completely overplayed at the time.
Yeah, it seemed cool. Like, let's make everything rock. You know, but then
It's like it's like heavy but rap.
yeah, but at the same time, it kind of made hip hop redefine itself too.
Kind of.
Because I think a lot of them found it hokey.
It was more or less just white people taking what they knew, which was rock music, which is also derived from black music, and then stealing more of the black music and adding it to their stolen version of black music.
And saying, "Aren't I cool? I wear this backwards cap."
And the guitar player wore like teddy bear suit and painted his face.
Yeah, but they're kind of ahead of their time.
He was like Tanuki Gene Simmons.
Tanuki Gene Simmons. That's a cool name.
That'd be a cool band name.
Yeah, Tanuki Gene Simmons. Tonight.
I mean, there's tons of dumbass band names out there. Why not?
Oh, I saw Led Zeppelin 2. That's a band name.
Yeah, I think that's a tribute band, isn't it?
I don't know.
Probably. The best Led Zeppelin tribute name is there's a group of 4 ladies who play Led Zeppelin music, a cover band, and they're called Les Zeppelin.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Legs Zeppelin would be good too.
Well, you have to do some ZZ Top, I think.
Yeah, hell yeah, you should do that anyway.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, hey.
Welcome back. That was a word from our sponsor. But I took my daddy to see ZZ Top back in I want to say like 2000.
Oh, shit.
Because he always loved ZZ Top, but he never saw him in concert. So they came to town, so I took him for his birthday, and it was an experience because I paid for pavilion seats, and we were in the very last row of the pavilion.
Oh.
Like, so much so that like the overhang on the pavilion stopped like 2 rows in front of us.
They didn't. You were so cheap in the pavilion, they didn't even give you an overhead.
Right. It's like we should have just bought lawn seats.
Oh, that's good. I love that.
And no one sat down the whole time. My dad got all pissed off.
Oh, hey. Hey, everybody. Starting to get a little cramp here.
So I'm the tripod now. So, but yeah, ZZ Top. It was a pretty good show. I mean, they did all right for a 3-piece from the 70s. They used to do like psychedelic rock back in the 60s.
I heard they took a break, so the one guy had a beard,
Yeah.
and the other 2 guys mimicked it by wearing fake beards. And then they left and broke up for a while, and then when they came back, those guys grew their beards back out.
Well, Billy F. Gibbons, he had a beard, and then Dusty Hill, I think he didn't have a beard, so then he grew a beard. And then the funniest, the fucking hilarious part of ZZ Top was 2 guys had beards, not all 3. And who was the guy that didn't have a beard? The drummer, whose name was Frank Beard. I shit you not.
That's crazy.
He had a mustache.
Frank Mustache would have been a cool name.
That would have been a cool name.
Is Mustache even a relevant last name? Is everything a relevant last name?
Yeah, I'll tag Josh Froman in this video. Go ahead. Thanks, Facebook.
Facebook knows me.
Oh, you're tagged now, bro. What about Harlow Santana? Come on, Facebook. Bring it on. Oh, it's my video.
Oh, shit.
It's not going to tag me in my own video.
Tag you in your own video.
I don't want anyone I know watching this anyhow.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Like I was talking about is, Drunk Harlow's 1 and 2 yesterday. There's no point.
There's no point. I mean,
It's just something to do to pass the
what are we
time.
going to do with these paper straws? So you actually have a paper straw?
In the house.
What's it like?
It's awful. It's fucking paper wrapped up in a cylindrical form trying to pass itself off as a straw. and after about 10 minutes, it just collapses when you're drinking with them.
I heard at one point in time that the shoes were made out of paper, like during the depression.
That sounds about right.
So if you like press paper hard enough together, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, you can do some stuff with paper. I mean,
Shellac them or whatever.
you can shellac them.
Yeah, well,
I'm not going to shellac my straws.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's
I thought
going.
you were looking for a cheap thrill.
That's going in my mouth. I mean, a thrill's a thrill. I mean, $20 is $20, but goddamn,
Shellac.
I'm not going to shellac some, straws.
Oh, that's crazy.
What's this guy talking about?
What about those life straws? Have you seen those?
The ones that you can drink like out of shitholes?
Yeah, you can drink out like somebody's vomit and it's like clean water.
That's cool. They're real cool.
Oh god.
I mean, they're
Like, it's cool, but it's got to have some sort of flavor to it.
not
Yeah.
really. I mean, I'm somewhat like minded as like partial survivalist. So like life straws are pretty sweet.
They seem like the
They
perfect.
would be good to have in your backpack if you were making a bug out bag.
Yes.
But I mean, if you know anything about obtaining water in a survival situation, you can find water in a lot of situations.
Yeah.
You can make your own filters and like filter bullshit water and drink it just fine. You can process it numerous ways to drink it just fine. But a life straw would definitely be a good in a pinch have in your bag if your car went off a cliff and your leg was broken and you're next to a cesspool for a week trying to survive.
They should put that just in like a filter in general. You just buy a funnel with that filter in it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, the life.
I mean,
life funnel.
You can make a filter with like bamboo and rocks and sand and charcoal and all sorts of shit.
That's gonna get all the impurities out.
Most of them.
Wow.
I mean, if you make it like long enough, if you layer like gravel, sand, charcoal, you can pour water into it and filter it pretty cleanly.
Have you ever seen Tank Girl?
Long ago.
I watched it recently, and it's about like water. You know, it's because it's like the whole world.
It's like Mad Max, but water instead of gas.
Yep. And this one guy, he sticks a pin in this guy, and it pulls the water out of his blood.
Interesting.
He shrinks up, and the guy drinks it. Malcolm McDowell, he drinks the dude's water.
That's
from his blood.
interesting.
And yeah, but it's crazy. It's crazy, man.
It's also like Waterworld, but water instead of paper.
Yeah, and there's not enough water.
Waterworld sucked.
Was it really that bad?
Kevin Costner, come on the show and debate this with us.
I mean, what's Kevin really costing her?
What's Kevin Costner up to these days?
Up to bowling and soup. Bowling for soup.
I would go bowling with Kevin Costner, although I bet he only bowls like a 140.
He seems like a 190 guy.
You think so?
Yeah, he's not cocky. He's not trying to push over 200, but he's not trying to stay too far under either.
We should like contact his publicist and ask what's Kevin
I bet
Costner's
he's probably
bowling
a
game
pretty.
like?
Yeah, let's ask him about his bowling game and then see if we can maybe get out with him sometime.
I went bowling recently and I bowled a freaking like 179.
Nice.
I got like 6 strikes in one game. Best game of my life.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
179. I've never gone to. I think I made it just shy of 200 a time or two.
Honestly, 179 was the best. Before that was like 140. I mean, I don't know. Bowling's always that one game where everyone thinks they know what the fuck they're doing, and then they get into it and they fucking suck.
It's like the karaoke of sports.
It's the karaoke of sports. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, because it's like you get nervous and it's your turn all of a sudden, and you're like, fuck it.
Right. And then
Yeah.
there's like 30 other people bowling around you. Like, I don't want to look like a jackass.
Yeah, I don't want to look like I suck, but even if I like do a gutter ball, I still gotta look confident.
Right.
It's kind of the idea.
The best bowling game is when you go with a toddler. You can put the bumpers up.
Yes. You ever bounce it back and forth like it's freaking pinball?
No, I try not to do that. That's uncourteous.
Yeah. I'd never do that either.
I'm sure you don't lob them 20 feet down the lane either.
Yeah.
Bang!
Bang, 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 bang. Sir, you're tearing up our bumpers.
I paid for this game.
Well, first you tell me I can't wear your shoes and now this. Sir, you were trying to kickflip those shoes without a skateboard. Can you kickflip on a skateboard?
Can I?
Yeah.
I can't do dick on a skateboard.
Can you ride a skateboard?
Fucking June bug has landed on my dick.
Oh,
Bam!
what is this, California?
It's fucking Pasadena over here. You're drinking a beer by the fire, fucking June bugs land on my dick. What the fuck?
Where we go?
This
You go to a birthday party at the Colonial Land. There's fucking dick bags.
Dick bags, fucking Burbank, California, Pasadena up in here. I don't know what's going on.
San Fran.
Fuck.
Just another fire, another day.
Another fire, another day.
You know, I heard that Old Town Road song may end up being the number one, the longest running number one pop song
No.
at 16 weeks,
No.
beating One Fine Day by Mariah Carey and
I can't. No.
Bruce. Seems too easy.
I have still not heard this Old Town Road song, and I never intend to.
I got pulled into it, and Billy Ray Cyrus is back, baby. Where's he going next? I don't know.
He thinks he's back, but he ain't. Anyways, there's no one watching this. My arm's tired of holding this damn thing. So, probably a good point to just end this show.
Yeah, let's just end this
It's
shit.
probably been a good while, so we'll just end it. This is Harlow Santana.
This is George Corbin. Hello.
Can't see you there. Take my word for it, George Gerben is here.
George Corbin's here.
And this has been
Dudes
Tunes
and Brews.
and Brews.